talk to you. My name is Anne-Marie. Welcome if this is your first time, welcome back if you've seen me before. It's great to have you joining me today, tonight, this morning, this evening, whenever it is you are joining me. It's fantastic to have you. So all the usual stuff just to get you started. We'll have a little kind of couple of minutes just to set ourselves up. The kit I'm planning to use tonight, should you so wish, head cushion or something similar, normal mat or whatever you've got at home, a rug, something soft to lie on. If you've got one, it's not urgent, just one exercise and we don't have to have it, but if you've got one, it's washable, might be quite handy. And ditto with the yoga strap, we'll have a nice little stretch out with that. If you have one, again, you don't need to, so don't panic. And as always, anything I suggest tonight, if there is anything that doesn't work for you, isn't comfortable, is twingy, for whatever reason isn't working for you tonight, then either modify it, I'll hopefully give you loads of different options. Alternatively, take a break, take a stretch, take a rest. Whatever you need to do, take water on board whenever you need to do it and make sure you're in a lovely safe space. Okay, wonderful. So let's just have a minute or two just to get ourselves nice and calm and relaxed, make sure everybody's got their kit set up that they want to have and their TVs and all these good things. Okay, so when you're ready, we're in a fairly neutral stance, I'll build it up as usual, but we'll just have a few breaths first. So when you're ready, we're going to do some nice full and wide breathing. Okay, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, and in, 3, 4, hold, and out, and hold. Just a couple more with me. Breathe in, and hold, and out, and hold. Last one. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. I hope that's just really calmed you down, got you really well centered for our session tonight. So let's start building up our neutral stance as we usually do. So start with the feet directly underneath the hip bones, point of it to the front of the hip. We're just going to rock forwards and back. I do realise my leggings are a little bit like those old-fashioned 5D puzzles. I don't know what you'll see if you look really carefully, but they're a little bit crazy. Just to keep you awake. Alright. Just really stretching out the feet, stretching out the toes, really getting some space in between. Lovely. And rocking forwards and back, allowing that body weight to come all the way through the feet. Fantastic. And relax that there. We're just going to tilt the heels and the feet in and out. So you're getting the body weight to the outside of the foot and the inside of the foot. Again, if you don't have great comfy ankles, by all means take a break out of this. You might just want to instead wriggle the toes, flex the feet, whatever feels more comfy to you. But if your ankles are in a good place, this can be quite a nice way to warm them up as well. Alright, settling that so the feet are really nicely stretched out, the body weight's right over the middle of the foot. Coming up through the legs, the knees are nice and soft, no need to lock out, just a very, very gentle, like a micro bend in the knees. Coming up all the way to the pelvis. We've got that bowl of water in the pelvis. So we're going to tuck under and over. And oh my goodness, if you've been sitting a lot today, maybe you've been walking a lot or gardening. There's a great gardening weekend actually for us here. Or I should say killing our garden. We've been ripping things out, but you know, it's very satisfying. But still my back will be grateful for tonight's workout, so I hope that yours feels the same. But just tilting under, tilting over, really allowing that movement into the lower part of the spine. And the water flows out to the front, flows out to the back. You've just got that tilting action and releasing, relaxing there. So letting it come to settle with a small arch in the lower back. Okay, from here pulling up all the way through the spine, so the tailbone pulls down, top of the head draws up. You've got a nice, long, natural curve through the spine. The ribs directly over the hips. The shoulders, bring them forwards, up, back, and ease them down at the back. So really squeeze and drop those shoulder blades down towards the back pockets, allowing the hands to open out to the front or in towards the legs. And just getting a nice big gap. Just see if you can get those shoulders just half an inch lower. Half an inch lower. So you've got a really lovely, beautiful, big gap between the shoulders and the ears. Opening out gently at the chest. So we're not having that hunch position, just opening it out there. And standing up nice and tall, chin pointing forwards, we've hit a wonderful neutral standing position. So from here, we're going to think about our full and wide breathing. So if you want to with me, fingertips onto the rib cage. You know what you're doing now, don't you? Just allowing the rib cage to open as you breathe in, and the ribs fall back together as you breathe out. So it's full and wide, really nice and calming. Hopefully you're about to have a wonderful week. This is a good way to get it going. Fantastic, and leaving that there. And now we're going to think about our core contractions. So the core contraction tonight, we're going to imagine an elevator inside the body, 10 floors on the elevator, and it's drawing up that pelvic floor inside of us. So when you're ready, on your next full and wide breath in, you breathe in and draw up all the way to the 10th floor in the elevator. So there's a real tension in these lower abs, down inside the crease of your pelvis, down into your hips. Really tight and release. Allow that to relax out. Okay, and on the next full and wide breath in, you breathe in, go to the 5th level on the lift. So you're just pulling up half contraction there. Still tense enough, you've definitely got it going, you can feel it. You wouldn't want to hold it for too long, but much more control than the last one. And release. And for the 3rd and final time, breathe in. We'll go to that 30% contraction. This is the one we're hoping to hold for quite a lot of tonight's session if possible. And just making sure that we have control over that core. We've still got that neutral back position, still got that lovely neutral long spine, nice big gap down between the shoulders and the ears. And here we go, let's get nice and warm. Let's start with some shoulder rolls. I'm going to just step forwards. Always in fear of whacking something in this room, it's quite exciting. So we're just going to roll. Arms nice and big. So just take a note, keep the shoulders themselves kind of down. So I'm not drawing up the shoulders into ears, still draw those shoulder blades down the back. But I am reaching high, reaching wide, even slightly behind. If your shoulders are comfortable doing that, maybe if you're double jointed, it's no problem at all. You can probably take them all the way back. But really reaching, stretching. Feeling the movement again. If you have been hunched over for any reason today, or carrying things, maybe carrying bags, carrying children, carrying boxes, carrying gardening things, whatever, you might just find tension in the shoulders, tension in those muscles, these traps, the ones that are just kind of down the side from your neck down towards your shoulder. So just aiming to release that and releasing any tension you're holding in your chest as well as we open out at the front. Fantastic. And from here, we're just going to do some dumb waiter. So I think we did this last week. Imagine you've got that tea tray, okay, ready for Easter. Maybe an afternoon tea, that'd be quite nice. So you're just passing the cup to the side, easing it round and squeezing the shoulder blade that's working, the shoulder and the arm that's working. Feel that tension kind of around the back of the shoulder, down towards the middle of the spine, so it's that shoulder blade, the rotator cuff, those muscles. Rotator cuff working to get that lovely rotation along a nice long bone in the arm. Wonderful. Oh. And we're just going to release the legs, release the elbow from the waist, just turn it into a little bit more of a flowing, swinging twist. Okay, so we are getting a little bit more rotation through the body. I'm a bit obsessed with gardening, actually. I'm wearing a leaf today. So you can tell it's spring. Clocks changed, didn't they? I hope you didn't forget. Might not matter. This might be the year if you're going to forget to do it. It might make no difference. And release. Lovely. So we are going to do some cactus arms. More on the flowers. Here we go. Just get the elbows nice and wide from the shoulders. We'll let them go down and up, down and getting that rotation in the other direction this time. It's a bit like a dumb weight in the other direction to some extent, isn't it? But you're rotating, get the hands forwards and then down, forwards and then down, and then leave them up. We're going to do some twisting from here. So a little bit more twisting concerning the upper body. We need to keep the hips pointing forward. So imagine you've got kind of headlights in the front of the hips. And we're just going to twist the upper body. So we've already done a little bit of twisting where we release the legs, we release the arms, and it was like a full body twist. Really focusing on kind of the mid to upper spine twisting here. So not so much the neck is staying in line with the breastbone. So I'm just looking directly in between kind of where my palms are facing. But trying to keep those hips pretty stationary really. Twisting it around, twisting it around. Awesome! And release that. Now we're going to do some standing roll downs. So if I'm just going to show you from the side, it's quite nice to see these from the side. We'll start with the arcing. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to preemptively take my glasses off. So starting that in neutral position. Okay, and we're just going to tilt the chin and just slump forwards. Slump forwards. And when you're ready, straightening back up, open out the chest, looking up. And maybe even coming up onto the tiptoes, bringing it back down. And we're going down, bending the knees, slumping the body weight into the back of the heels. We're going through those two positions. No particular rush. Can be quite nice to do it with breathing. So you breathe in to come up, breathe out to go down. Ooh, yeah, that feels really nice. Okay. And from here, we'll just go for our normal roll downs, but we'll build them up, or build them down, I suppose. From here, tilt the chin, start the peeling of the spine. We're only going to go halfway to start with, you know how it works. My goodness, you've seen this before, haven't you guys? Straightening up back to neutral before we go again. And gradually increasing the size of this move. So on the way down, imagine your spine is peeling away from a wall. It's slumping, the arms are heavy, the head is heavy, hanging down. You've still got control over the core, by the way. So it's not like you're just being kind of a lazy slump as such. You've still got that control and you're consciously peeling down each time. Peeling, peeling, peeling. And when you do get to the bottom each time, then you're restacking those bones all the way up. Last thing to come up is the head back to neutral. And take it again. And each time if you want to and you need to, just double check that neutral spine. Just double check you've still got that control of the core. And coming, opening out that chest, fantastic. We should be getting down towards the bottom of our move now. So bringing it down, bringing it down. Maybe get one more out where we can get all the way down. So nice to build this move up, so nice. And then we'll get all the way down. And if you do get any tension, feel free to feather down. I just mean gently rocking side to side, especially if you have any bits that feel a bit clunky. But just hanging there for a couple of breaths. And bringing it back up. You can always on these have a gentle bend at the knee, just so that it's not the tension in the hamstrings holding you back on that one. Fantastic. Right, oh, I've got to put my glasses on, otherwise I can't see what I've written down. That's no good, is it? Oh, there we go. There we go. Now I know what I'm doing. Okay. Some knee lifts. Knee lifts. You wouldn't want me to forget my balances. I know that. I know that. I might really remember those though. So just bringing the knee in front. So we're getting movement into the hips, movement into the knees. So a little bit of balance going on here. A little bit of strength into the hip flexors, bring the legs in front. We are there. And now we're going to do some little moving calf stretches behind. So it's easier to see side on, I think, with this one. The feet stay on those tram tracks and you're just going to sit the toe down, push the heel back. So it's just a little step back. So I'm getting to a position where the heel can just about hit the ground. When the heel hits the ground, I'll just show you, stop for a second so you can see the heels hit the ground, just straight line all the way up the back. Front knee is bent, but the knee is kind of just over the ankle or so. And it's just a little stretch, and it's just delicious. Really nice. And I'll show you from the front so you can see what I mean about staying on the tram tracks. Okay, so the feet are going directly forwards and back. Okay, so they're not lining up. That's really tricky to balance on. They're keeping hip distance apart, but just straight forward, straight back. Okay, hopefully that all makes perfect sense. Wonderful. And you've got that gentle, as you kind of move the leg back, the body gently leans forwards, so you can get that straight line all the way down the back. If you're not quite able to get the heel down, maybe you're stepping a little bit too fast, just bring that step a little bit closer in. If you're not feeling this stretch, maybe you're not quite stepping enough. So there's not really a stretch for me. I need to take it just that little smidge further for me. Everyone will be a little bit different. It depends on your flexibility, depends on your mobility around the ankle in particular on this one, and how flexible that muscle at the back of the calf is. Wonderful. Let's hold this one. Let's just enjoy this stretch actually. So holding this stretch, get in this really good position. So if you've not managed to do it while we're moving, because it's kind of things going too quickly, now's your chance. You want that back heel pushed into the floor, straight line all the way up. Okay, lovely stretch in that back calf muscle. Really nice. And you can either, I quite like my hands on my hips, by all means, have your hands on the front leg, as long as you just avoid the knee joint. But to be fair, you're probably not that close to it, I wouldn't imagine, unless you've got really long arms. Maybe Mr. Tickle might have a problem. Not a problem for me. Okay, and what we're going to do is a soleus stretch, so that's the other muscle inside the calf. So bring the feet in, toes roughly in line with the heel on the other leg, tuck the hips under, so you're tucking the bottom and the pelvis underneath, sitting down into it. So imagine you're sitting on a little bar stool just behind you, but actually it's a really wobbly one and it won't hold your weight. So you're pushing the body weight down, very little weight on this front leg, it's just for balance really, and still getting a stretch, but a slightly different stretch in that back half. So by bending the knee, you're releasing the gastrocnemius, the major kind of muscle that we're used to seeing in the calf. You're getting into one of the internal ones here, the soleus. Lovely. So switch sides. We're going to do that calf stretch as normal as such. Calf stretch we're all used to a little bit more. Again, the hips are pointing directly forwards. The feet are pointing directly forwards. You might want to take a look down. If you don't have a humongous mirror, which is slightly ridiculous, you might want to just look at your feet, but make sure the feet are pointing forwards. Temptation is to have that back foot, so the heel's tucked in. Try and keep it straight, and that's where you get a really nice stretch out of it if you can. Fantastic. So it could be brutal having a big mirror in a gym. Not for the faint-hearted. Okay, bring that in, we'll do that soleus stretch. So bring the toe in line with the heel, tuck the hips under and sit down into that back leg. Oh, I can really feel it on that leg actually, I feel it much more there. Might feel a bit different to you, maybe it's a bit stronger on that leg, maybe a bit less strong. It's definitely felt different for me. I feel like I managed to get that position, maybe it's just tucking the hips a little bit lower, so really tilting the pelvis and getting that bottom as low as you can, while keeping the foot flat on the floor on the back leg. Again, that front leg is pretty much just for balance. You could be balancing if you want to on it. You don't want to peak too soon on your balances. You know they're coming up, so don't peak too soon. Right, lovely. Oh, that's good. Nice. It is balance time. Hooray! I hear you cry. I knew you'd be excited. So we're going to do some warrior 3 tonight. I'm going to do it sideways, otherwise I'll kick my cupboard. It's not a feature. So we'll build up to it. Okay, we'll build up to it. So gradually, you can start just by kind of dragging the toe back, Again, this might be a good one to take the glasses off. Definitely need to get to that position soon. There we go, drag the toe back. Okay, if this is going well, let's start into the balance. I'm not going to rush you, you don't have to be going at the same speed as me. If you want to keep that toe down, by all means. Another one, if you want to kind of be within easy reach of something like a cupboard that you're not going to fall into, maybe a wall, maybe a door handle, something like that, by all means you can do that as well. Okay? But stretching the body. And what I'll encourage you to do is, as the foot gets a little bit higher, I want you to tilt the upper body more. So it's not like a bigger hyperextension to the back. You're not flicking the leg back but keeping the body upright. You're really tilting with it and reaching forwards. So it should be gradually working its way up, both sides. So I am alternating. Okay, and we're aiming to get towards a nice big T shape. So always the top tip with balances, find a stationary point to look at. Be that a point, I suppose on this one it's easiest, a point on the floor. Maybe you've got an interesting rug. Okay, let's go for a nice big one this time. We're going to hold it. So try and get that T-shaped position so the leg goes all the way back, really stretching it forwards. Trying to maintain the neutral spine, hips roughly level. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, wobbly, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. One done, one to go. Other side, you ready? Okay, really stretch it long, stretch it long, stretch it long, stretch it long. Okay, how have we got the position? Nice and long in a T shape. Are you ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, awesome. You can feel that in your glutes, can't you? Honestly, it's great. Fantastic. Plenty of wobbling in the ankle and knees as well. It's all for the good. That's what we're aiming for. And the second balance tonight is quite a functional one in the sense of it's going to give us a lovely big stretch. We're just going to go for a quad stretch. It's not a particularly long one or anything. But if you can, just show you from the side, grab onto that shoelace part of your foot. If you can. If you can't, by all means, grab on anywhere you can reach. Back of your trousers, maybe onto your shin. But if you can, let's get really into that shoelace area of the foot. I'm going to swizz round. Try not to fall over as I go. Oh, wobble. Okay, knees together, push the hips forward. So I want you to get the stretch out of this as well. If you want to, you can have the arm wide. A bit more challenging, have the arm high. Trick my old PE teacher used to say to me, hold on to your ear. I suppose there's a danger. Don't pull your ear off, that would be dangerous. Or earrings, also not good. But because you're balanced then, you've got a lot of balance going on with your ear. By holding onto your ear, that can help some people to hold this position. So knees together, push hips forward. You should have that beautiful stretch down the front of the quad. Push that shoelace bit of the foot into the hand. So you've got a gap between the bottom and the foot. Wonderful, we're starting really stretchy tonight. Arm and calf stretch, quad stretch, doing well. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. I don't know about you, but I can really feel it in that standing calf. As the ankle's making all those mini adjustments, that was that one felt for me, as well as having a beautiful stretch in the quad itself. So let's try on the other side. Same rules apply. Grab onto what you can grab onto. As always, if you need to be near to something you can grab that is safe and stationary, have a go at that. Maybe I'll try it this side with the arm wide, bit of a change. Got loads of options again. You can have the hands on the hip, hands wide, hands high. We've still got the ear option. Whatever you like, really. Whatever suits you. Really stretching that quad, so knees together, push hips forwards. The standing knee is nice and soft, hips are roughly level. Core still has control, so you've still got that elevator inside, just gently drawing up. Again, I can really feel the standing ankle working so hard. Just maintaining this position. Shoulder blades just drawn down the back. Temptation is we've got into a slightly different and more complex position. Shoulder blades are creeping up. As you hold that arm up, if you're going for the arm up position, just draw them down, relax. Relax the shoulders down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey! Awesome! Right, I can see. Let's get down onto the floor. So come to the front of your mat. And we're going to roll down. We like a roll down, don't we? I like a roll down. Go for neutral. We'll just go all the way down, if you can, when you're comfy. Just go all the way down. We'll just go down and up. Just a couple of times. Because we've already done this. We're just making sure though, just making sure we're super comfy tonight.
Right, let's hold it here. Just let that head hang really heavy. Let's let the spine properly stretch out here. Keeping it nice and long. The knees can be soft. If you want a little bit more stretch into the hamstrings, you can gently straighten out a little bit the knees. Don't need to lock them. Okay, from here we're going to get safely down onto the floor. So if it works for you, bend the knees and gently sit backwards. Otherwise, you can go through all fours. However you would normally comfortably get onto the floor position. Okay, we're going to start tonight. I will move a few bits and bobs out of the way so you can see. We're going to start tonight with a shoulder bridge. So because it's a shoulder bridge, you won't need your head cushion to start with. I do like a shoulder bridge. I missed it last week. I know we didn't do it last week. Maybe a little bit sad. So I've made sure I've got one today. Right. So let's get our neutral position. Feet start together, let the heels out, let the toes out. So feet, knees and hips all nicely aligned. We'll get that neutral position in our pelvis. So rocking under and over. So imagine that pencil on the front of the pelvis. And it's drawing a line between your feet and over your head. Getting that really nice, oh my goodness, this is the best bit, isn't it? Getting that wonderful pelvic tilt sensation. It's really arching up and gently easing that back, lower back into the floor. And come to let that settle in the middle. So from here, again, lengthen through the spine, draw down through the tailbone, up through the spine. Let the shoulders relax down into the mat. The hands and arms can hang nice and heavy. Now hopefully your chin is pointing roughly up towards the ceiling. It might be a little bit different if you normally have a cushion, but we'll be rolling up, rolling down, so don't panic, we're all good. Making sure the feet are reasonably close in towards the bottom. So maybe you can just about touch your heels if you reach down towards them. So let's go from here. We've got a full and wide breathing. When you're ready, breathe in, get that core contraction, and as you breathe out, I want you to tilt the pelvis first, press down with the heels, squeeze the glutes, so fire the glutes. And we're just going to start with a half roll up, roll down. We'll build this move up. I really want to work on the mobility of the spine. So the aim of the game for me tonight on this one is to the mobility of the spine, and ultimately, if we get that far, the strength in the calves. It will all make sense. Okay, so gradually build it up, always going back through to neutral. So each time, again, you're peeling up through the spine and laying that spine back down. If you have any areas which feel clunky, uncomfortable, by all means you can try that feathering that we were playing with earlier. Or just spend a bit of extra time going up and down through that section. That's absolutely fine. Just remembering you're like rolling, imagine like a rolling pin, rolling up, rolling down, and hopefully getting towards being up to the top of the move when you're getting to the top. Now, so squeezing, firing the glutes, and coming up so that you're up onto the shoulder blades and bringing it back down. Okay. So next time you get to the top, if you'd like to, we're just going to work on the calves tonight. So from here, I just want you to take the heels off the floor and down. We'll do that 3 times. Squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Now we're going to peel it back down. So tonight we're not going to worry about the upper body with this move at all. It's all about mobility and the calves. So we've gone back through neutral. Just check that the core is still good. Rolling up nice and slowly and gradually. Getting to our top position, the glutes are firing, holding this position, squeeze, release, squeeze, release, and by squeeze it's lift those heels, bring them back down. When you're ready, peeling it back down. Okay, I'm just going to replace my feet. My feet were sneaking away from me. So if you need to reset yourself at any time, that's fine. So lift. Oh no, my goodness. It sounded good, didn't it? And peeling it back down. Wonderful. Reset, get back to neutral when you're ready. Tilt the pelvis. Press down with the heels. Just push the knees away, squeezing the glutes. There's lots and lots to think about, isn't there? And as with all things, when I give you all these different cues and these teaching points, just latch onto the one which is the one that works for you, okay? Because you might just go, oh yeah, I just need to press down my heels a little bit more and that will do it. That's what I need to think about. For some of you it might be that clunkiness in the spine, so just focusing on getting a really smooth movement. Maybe it's thinking about the tracking of your knees. What do I mean by that? Keeping the knees an equal distance apart as you're going down and up. So what you can do to help with this, if you do have a ball or a cushion, just pop it between your knees, or you can have a band around the outside. Lots of options to do that. But just, you can even just take a little look down and see, are your knees flaring apart or falling together on this move? That's going really well. I'll just get my feet back where they should be. And we'll do 2 more. So in that context of doing 2 more, it's not a lot more. So how are you feeling about really squeezing those calves really hard? And then peeling back down. Last one, let's make it a good one, eh? Okay, so neutral position and slowly, slowly. Really focusing each vertebrae, moving one at a time. Hips gradually going up, glutes firing, heels pressing down. We're at the top, up onto the toes. 2 and 3, and coming back down. Fantastic. Okay, we're rolling all the way down before we get back to neutral and relaxing there. Brilliant. So let's have a little stretch on those glutes. If you take the ankle over to the opposite knee, if this is enough for a stretch, just gently easing that leg out to the side, that'd be great. Otherwise you could bring the far leg in, you might want to hold behind the back of the far leg, you might even want to extend it up. One of those positions, all being well, you will find is a nice stretch into the glutes and the abductors, those muscles slightly around the outside that open out the leg position. If you're super duper flexible, this kind of high leg at the back, that might be coming way over your head as well. I don't think it'll ever happen for me, never mind. This just feels really nice because the glutes do work hard. On the shoulder bridge, you've got a lot going on. There's the mobility of the spine, which is fantastic if you're really in stationary positions and hunch positions a lot of the day. You're just working that mobility back in, but it's strengthening the glutes. I really wanted to focus on the calf as well. We've had a calf stretch already earlier, so we've got a calf workout there. And switch sides, so let that leg come down, take the other leg down, and we'll switch sides again. So just find a position that works for you. You might want to press out, or you might want to bring the far leg in, you might want to extend it up. It's such a nice move. I do enjoy a shoulder bridge. Even that, just staying on the pelvic tilts, there's so much kind of good movement for the lower back. It is fantastic. Really good. Just enjoy this stretch. And release that down. So we're going to do another exercise on the back now. We're going to go for a version of 100. So, just sort myself out. Right, let's get in our neutral position again. So if you need to sort your feet out, your legs out, this time your feet are a little bit further away. If you do normally have a cushion behind your head on these back exercises, by all means pop that behind now. So again, the spine is nice and long. You might just want to have a quick little play with the movement of the pelvis just to get that neutral spine back. Arms are heavy and the upper body is heavy and relaxed. We've got the full and wide breathing. Breathe in, switch on the core. And as you breathe out, just float one leg up. So we've got this 90-degree position at this stage. There's still some weight on the leg that's down. But we've got 90 degrees, knee directly above the hip. The foot is all flopping, okay? There's no tension being held in the lower part of the leg. And the hips are evenly pressed into the floor with a neutral arch in the lower back and the core gently contracted. From here, we're just going to add in some chicken wings if you wish. If you're happy without, if you're happy just thinking about this lower body position, by all means stick with it. But if you'd like to, we'll take the arms up, shoulder blades still drawn down the back, and then drawing those elbows towards the waist. Now I'm going to give you an option here about whether you want to really focus on the strength in the back there or not, or just working through the movement. So as the arms come down, you're going to switch sides. So one leg down, one leg up. If you find it more comfy to actually put the leg down before the other one comes up, that's fine. And we'll do the same with the arms. So if you'd like to work more into the back muscles, really imagine you're grabbing something at the top of the move and drawing elbows towards the waist before you bring it back up. But you can keep it nice and relaxed. I want to focus tonight, particularly in this move, more into the strength around the core and the hip flexors. When the arms are back down, we'll switch sides. So again, if you want to take the leg down and the other leg up, that's fine, or you can do it on the fly. Now this time, if you're feeling good and you'd like to, the leg that is down, just imagine we've got that situation where there is a piece of paper that I need to just sneak underneath. So you're almost lifting this one. We'll go for the chicken wings again. And tonight I'm just keeping these a little bit more gentle than I do at other times. And we'll switch sides. Okay, so as the leg comes up, the knee isn't really going past the hip again. You're just keeping it focused. The knee is roughly above the hip. And switch sides. We'll try that again. So we've got that really gentle touch. You should be feeling the hip flexors kick in. I'm feeling the core kick in here. And switch sides. Now, if this is all feeling fantastic and you'd like to give it a go, let's have a go with both legs raised. It's optional. Okay, so if you want to, bring that other leg up. Okay, are you still able to maintain that gap under the lower back? So if you're finding your back is arching, go for another. If you're finding your back is arching or is flattening into the floor, then it needs to release. So let's make a little pattern out of this. If this was all feeling good, we'll start with one leg almost off. Still moving with the chicken wings. Switch sides. And then we'll go two with both legs up. So if you have been alternating, you can still keep with that alternating. So just breathe out, just take the arms over. In and out and in. So back to one side. And of course you'll be doing this at your own pace. What I'm trying to, in this case, keep the tension out of the upper body actually, just trying to really make this more lower body focused. And then if you like to, two of the legs both raised. Are you still able to maintain that gap under the lower back? Have a little think, how's it going? Are you able to do it without popping the tummy up? So keeping that core control. We're going to do one more of our little sets. So one leg down, ever so gently. Another leg. And then our last two together. Can you hold it together? Is it actually getting a bit much and you just want to take a break? That's fine too. Don't panic. Oh gosh, this is beautiful. I can hear the birds singing outside. Isn't it lovely having the dogs change? Honestly, it's brilliant. And release. Just bring one leg down, bring the other leg down. Oh, that worked hard. Nice one. Right, bring it towards the chest. Never quite convinced I'm the traditional Pilates teacher. Never mind. Takes all sorts, doesn't it? And switch sides. And you know, I'm going to take this opportunity after we've done this little hip flex release to do our wonderful hamstring stretch that I love. I love. So if you do have a belt, a yoga strap, anything like that, your stretchy bands, anything like that, we're going to use it right now. So we'll go and grab mine. Oh, there it is. From here. So I'll just wrap it around the back of the foot. You don't have to have anything like this. If you prefer to, you can just be holding onto the back of the legs. I just quite like it because it allows me a little bit of relaxation in terms of releasing the upper body. There's not too much tension and pulling the arms down towards the leg. So one leg up towards the ceiling. It's important this leg is straight. That's the trick. It's the trick. Keep that leg straight. So it might not be as far over. It might be kind of around here. It might be much further. If you're more flexible, fantastic. Keep the other leg down, and that just pins the hips down towards the floor, so that you're not kind of cheating by just rolling the leg up using the lower part of the back. Your hips are pinned down. Just enjoy this position. Now, I've held it a little while, so when you're ready, breathe in. And as you breathe out, just draw that leg in ever so slightly more towards the body. Just a little developmental stretch in the hamstrings. Now the hamstrings can, in some cases, and this is true for me, and it's probably true for some or all of you, probably not all, but some, if you can really loosen out the hamstrings, if you do have any problems in your lower back, it can really help. There are times that is a magic. So the hamstrings, I find, are really worth paying attention to myself. Okay, we'll release that. We're going to switch sides. They do get especially tight if you tend to cycle quite a lot, or you're sitting quite a lot. Anything where you've got that kind of bent knee position for a prolonged period. Just really enjoy this. When you're ready, breathe in. And as you breathe out, just see if you can get that a little bit further. A little bit further. All good. Wonderful, let's release that there. So actually we're going to come to a sitting position. So I'll release this, but you might want to just grab onto your knee to help you get up to a sitting position. Because from here, and this is where you may or may not wish to use your ball for some rolling up, okay? So if you have one and you like to use them for rolling off, we've done this exercise before and you know you like to use it by all means. To get into the neutral sitting position, for some people, if you find that tricky, if you sit on kind of a squashy ball and roll forward, it can just tilt the hips just gently over a little bit more, which might be, if you struggle to get that upright position, it might just give you a little bit of help. So here again, knees, feet and hips all nicely aligned. I've just got my neutral position with my ball. I'll pop it out, gosh, I feel off. I've got my neutral position there. Gonna do some rolling up. Oh, I've got the giggles. Right. You've got a long spine. Breathe in, switch in the core. And as you breathe out, just tilt the pelvis back. So if you need to and you'd like to, you can hang on to the back of the legs. But if you're feeling comfy with that, that's fine as well. So I'm just using that ball as a little kind of reminder how far I'm going back. Now, for some people, you're not going to want to go all the way down. So you're going up through neutral. So into neutral and curving into the spine and gradually rolling it down. Okay. So if, like me, your ball is just kind of flying off and you don't really want it particularly anyway, by all means get rid. But you're gradually increasing the size of this move. You might wish to have your legs bent. You might wish to do this with the legs straight. It's another way. It's another option to do it. And gradually bringing it down and up, coming back up through neutral. And if you're comfortable and you think you can get back up without hitching, so without that sensation of going, oh, I really need to get up, then you can go all the way down. And if you go all the way down, you can let the arms float over should you so wish. You don't have to, you can just stick with whatever your original range of movement is. So that's the bit, if you know you're going to hitch, that's where you're going to find it. If you do find you've gone down, you're like, oh, I can't get back up, I'm stuck. By all means, grab onto a knee and help yourself back up, okay, if you're finding that hitching to be a problem, but you would like to go down. It just gives you the opportunity. Okay, and again, you can muck about with having the legs straight, having the legs bent. It's controlled. We're going through neutral at the top, Curve the spine, roll it down like that cartwheel. Going back to neutral. And it's peeling back up. So it's almost a bit like the reverse of a shoulder bridge, isn't it really? Because you're peeling it down, laying it down one by one by one. Going through neutral. And then you're going in exactly the opposite direction. And if you wish to, and you're not going all the way, but you can do it if you're going all the way really, just take a little stop, maybe it's at the bottom, but you might want to do a little kind of bow and arrow move. So you've got a twist into that, you're working into the obliques, those muscles at the side of the waist. As well. That's going down and up. So there's loads of different levels here, you can't just stick with the pelvic tilts, that's fine. So if you just go a little bit down and up, that's absolutely fine. Just going back through neutral, and if you want to add just that bow and arrow, so you've got that twisting, and you want to pop back up, it's all good. Otherwise you can continue the move if you wish. Is the core still contracted? So coming back through neutral, can we get back to that neutral position on the pelvis? The core still working. So not many more left. Lovely. We're just going to do one more. Just one more. So back through neutral. You ready? Tilt the pelvis. Okay. And with there. I actually want you to get back down on the floor. So if you want to do a roll down to get back down, that's fine. Otherwise, grab onto your leg if you've not been doing full roll down and get it down. What I want to do actually, if you do have a ball, this is quite a lovely one with a ball, so I'll give you a with and without ball option, but it's a really nice neck stretch. So, if you have a ball, pop your head kind of onto the ball. And what we're going to do with a ball is just press your head down into it. So not to a point where you make your neck uncomfortable, but just press down, press down. Okay, and release, and just roll the ball to the side, so just make sure it doesn't fire out. And turn. Okay, your alternative, if you don't have a ball, you can still do this turning and gently ease the back hand away. So get a really nice stretch down the side of the neck. You can do it without the ball, or as an alternative, you're lying facing up, you can take your ear towards your shoulder, so we often do that as a standing neck stretch. And then bring the ball back to the middle, just make sure it is in the middle. And from here, just press the head down and support. Firm, firm but not uncomfortable, not twingy. Obviously if your neck's not your best, then maybe just take a little rest out on this one. Okay, and release and turn in the opposite direction. Again, I'll just make sure my ball doesn't fire up. Turn the opposite direction. So you've got that stretch again down the side of the neck. Release that there. Okay, we can get rid of the balls. Wonderful, we're going to come over onto our side from here. So we're going to do some arm opening, one of my favourites. I've got a lot of favourites, I think, haven't I? Right, if it's comfy and you've got one, use your head cushion, okay? You can be lying on your arm if you don't have a head cushion, but we've got that 90 degrees falling off a chair position, so 90 degrees at the knees, 90 degrees at the hips. The hands are both going to be in front, the shoulder blades are drawn down the back and the top hip is pushed away, so you've got a nice gap underneath the waist. So you've got a neutral position lying on your side. When you're ready, breathe in, switch on your core, and as you breathe out, you float that arm up and over. And I like to keep this move quite slow and controlled, and I think one nice way to keep it slow and controlled is just to really time it with the breathing. So breathe out to go up, breathe in to go back, breathe out to go back up, and in to come back. You can obviously do it more quickly than that if you can do it more slowly, but I really like that kind of controlled pace. I'm really feeling to see if my fingertips can just ease flexion. At the back of the move, you're easing that shoulder blade down towards the mat. So maybe on the next one, we'll just leave it open, just have a nice little stretch there. So the shoulder blade's still drawn down the back, spine is long, top hip pushed away. Just open and leave it open, just hold it, just hold it. And if you can, ease that shoulder blade down towards the back, behind you, towards the floor. Still keeping the hips stacked, so we're not letting the hips fall backwards. You can use that other hand if you want to, just to check where the hips are, and pushing the top hip away, so you're going around along the spine, you're twisting along the spine. And bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Oh, so good, isn't it? So good. Just the tonic. Lovely. It's just so relaxing, this, isn't it? It's brilliant. Oh, if you've had a hectic day, just do a few of these. Absolutely phenomenal. Okay, this will be the last one here. Awesome. Release that there. We're going to roll over onto our fronts to do some swan dive. So coming from here, rolling onto our fronts. So the neutral position, and I will take my glasses off again, it's a bit like off and on today, isn't it? Got these cactus arms, okay, so the elbows are wide of the shoulders, the hands, palms down onto the floor, and you're looking down towards the mat. Just gently tuck the pelvis underneath. So I quite like as well to have the toes together, flop the heels out to the side to start with. So to start with, I really want to focus on the upper body. So engage the core, get that elevator on, and when you're ready, just going to lift the head and the shoulders. And you're using the back to do this. It's the upper back is working to lift. So at this stage, my arms are holding themselves, but they're certainly not pressing down to help. Okay. If this is going well and you'd like to increase that kind of stretch on the front of the body, when you get to the top of where your back can lift, you press into the forearms. You get a little bit more of a stretch through the front of the body. And it's symmetric, so it's the back and then the forearms. Forearms and then the back. And if this is feeling good and you'd like to, now let's start to press down into the hands as well. So it's a little pattern, isn't it? Back engages, forearms press, hands press, and then back to the forearms, back down. Now, if this is good and you'd like to also include the lower body, or maybe the upper body wasn't for you and you just want to do the lower body, that's also, by all means, fine. When the upper body comes down, then engage into the glutes, lengthen through the legs, and lift gently off the floor. If it's too much pressure for you to do both legs together, just do one at a time. So you might be ending up on a completely different time scale to me, because if you're going one leg up and down, other leg up, down, and then the upper body, you just go with the flow. You're looking down, you can't even see me anyway, it's fine. Do what you want to do, okay? Just make it safe. Safety first. But it's turning into almost like the sensation of a rocking horse. So the upper body goes and then relax down, and then the lower body, however you've chosen to do that. And again, it's slow, it's controlled. It's all good. And what you can find, if you do get this like little twinges into the lower back when you try using the legs, either leave those legs out, or for some people it might feel more comfy if you have a little bit more distance between the feet. So if they're more like kind of mat width apart or so. Okay, just one more. Really working into that upper back. seated there. If you get the hands underneath the shoulders, we're going to press up and over so that we can pop into child's pose. So just pressing up through all fours and over into child's pose. Just allowing the back to rest in the opposite kind of flexed position rather than an extended position. So the aim is to get the hips and the bum down towards the heels, really allowing that lower back to stretch out. If you don't like having your forehead down onto the mat, by all means you might want to put it on the back of your hands, onto your fists, whatever feels more comfy for you. Lovely, and coming back up, we need to do those arm openings on the other side. So let's grab our head cushions. Take my glasses so they don't get forgotten. Right. Coming back onto our sides. Okay, so getting that position as though you've fallen off a chair, knees, ankles, and hips all aligned, pushing the top hip away, letting the shoulder blades draw down the back, the spine is nice and long, there's a gap under the waist. When you're ready, breathe in, switch on the core, and as you breathe out, float the arm over. So this is, of course, the last class before Easter. So if you're one that celebrates Easter, I wish you a very, very lovely time. Filled with lots of chocolate if that's your thing. Filled with gin if it's not. Other food and drinks are obviously available, but they are good ones. Should I hold this next one open? We've got this really nice, smooth, controlled movement. Let's just hold it open. Let's see if we can get that back shoulder down towards the floor. The shoulder blade easy around. Again, you can still check that the hips are stacked. Pushing the top hip away, so you've still got the gap underneath the waist. Can you just go a little tiny bit more? Lovely, bring it back. Fantastic. So as before, if you wish, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. We'll just do 2 more. Okay, this is the last one. Let's make it a good one. Really reach. Really reach. Take it back. And over. Fantastic. And there's just enough time for a little old stretch out. So let's get rid of the cushions. If you want to come onto your back, just bring your knees up towards your chest. We're just going to roll on a side to side. Give that lower back a lovely massage while we're here. We're going to roll up to a sitting position, so if you want to grab onto one leg, we'll gently roll up to sitting. I'm going to pop over onto all fours. We're going to sneak in a couple of cat and cow. So drop the tummy, let the head come up, and rolling up so the shoulder blades go up towards the ceiling. Breathe through those 2 end positions. Really nice, long, stretching all the way through the front like we did in the swan dive, and rolling the spine up towards the ceiling. Okay, and back to neutral here. Tap the toes. We're going to push the body weight backwards, straighten up through the legs first, rolling up through the spine to follow. Coming back to our neutral position. Oh, a nice couple of big breaths in. Well, I do hope you enjoyed that session with me. I really did. That was really lovely, actually. have a fantastic week, have a fantastic Easter. I look forward to joining you, or you joining me again, I suppose, after Easter. And as always, give me a like, give me a share, let me know if there's something you like, something that didn't work so well for you. I will try and tailor it as best I can. I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Alright, take care, bye bye!